Mia, you use that litter box. Oh, hi there, Hi there, Romo. How you doing? Anyway, here we go, guys. Let me get ready to get started. Give me 1 second. We'll be doing predictions and stuff first. Okay, let me transition over now. And give me 1 second to make sure the dogs are not bothering the cat. I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that, I'm back. Let me go ahead and make the screen bigger, and we will go from there. And let me make sure that the thing, I clicked on news speed first. Hang on, here we go. Okay, there we go. First of all, how's everybody doing? Okay, there we go. So first of all, what are y'all's predictions for the Smash Brothers character today? Anyway, hang on one second. Okay, I was checking my messages on my phone. Anyway, here we go. For my predictions, let's see here. Right now, I only see Romo. Okay, let's see here. For me, if I had to go off of predictions alone, a lot of people are saying Dante. But for me, if I had to go with the guess, I'd go with another fan favorite, probably Gino, or I would probably go with let me think. If we had another Sonic character, I'd probably go either Dr. Robotnik or Sonic or Tails, or not Sonic, but or Tails or Knuckles, I mean. And that's if they decide to give us another Sonic representative. So what are y'all's predictions? Who do y'all think is going to be in Smash? And the actual show for Mr. Sakurai and the Smash Brothers Ultimate Team will start in 15 minutes. So we got plenty of time to do some predictions. Anyway, let's see here. as y'all can see there in the background, for me, I'm just basically waiting now. Hi there, Knight. How you doing? And also, guys, after this Smash Brothers Ultimate Direct, I'm going to be taking a break until about noontime, and then I will be doing some more of Wind Waker HD over on Twitch, because today is technically Twitch Thursdays. And for me, as long as I be consistent with doing Twitch on Thursdays, y'all will get the idea that I am trying to build up my Twitch following as well. Oh, I can understand that feeling, Knight. I can understand. Because for me, I've only been awake for 48 minutes now. But for me, I had to set an alarm to get up at this time to get up at 8 a.m. to be ready for this. I am going to go ahead and add in some commercials though. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me check my frame rate and everything. What? Well, I'm not really dropping or skipping anything, so that shouldn't be an issue. So, okay, there we go. Okay, now let me put some commercials on. Okay, there's two ads. Now, let me get back over to the Smash channel. And let's do theater mode. That way you guys can see the comments that are going on in the chat over on Nintendo's channel. Actually, let me take off theater mode for a few minutes. Let's go to default view so y'all can see the comments. Anyway, like I said, what are y'all's predictions? Hang on 1 second. Okay, anyway, the actual presentation will start here in 9 minutes. Okay, we got 8 minutes left. I'll look at comments here again in just 1 second. Okay, we've got 7 minutes left. Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. Let's see here. Oh, that's understandable, Knight. Anyway, let's see here. Okay, let me think here now. Do you have any Smash Brothers Ultimate character predictions? The Knight. Man, I already told you two of mine that are possibilities. I said Gino. I remember saying Gino's one of them. Hang on 1 second though. Anyway, let's see here now. Back to what I was trying to say now with Smash Bros. Ultimate. Some people are also wanting Zora, some are wanting Waluigi still, some are wanting Dante like I mentioned. Let me think. it. There was one other one that I mentioned earlier, or that I was getting ready to mention earlier. Let me think. Oh yeah, I said either Tails, Knuckles, or Dr. Robotnik if we had a second Sonic representative. And so y'all know I'm still sort of waking up. That's why my mind's kind of between waking up and asleep right now. Oh, nice night. Hi there, Sega. Sega. Well, yeah, Cocker could be a possibility. Man, I'm not putting it past them because there was a lot of people who were thinking that we wouldn't be getting King K. Rool, but then we did. So we also had we have a few from Castlevania in Simon Belmont and Richter. We also had I think it was Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter, who also returned in this one. So there's definitely possibilities. Well, for me, in case you missed it, I'm thinking either Geno, or I'm also thinking either Tails, Knuckles, or Dr. Robotnik, otherwise known as Dr. Eggman, for a second Sonic representative, because you never know. If I had to go off of games that we just recently got for like say the Switch or whatever, maybe let me think. So we would be seeing Cappy. We would be seeing King Boo. If I had to think of another character from a series that a lot of us enjoy, because we've already got plenty of Mario and Zelda characters. We've got plenty of Pokemon. We've got plenty. Let's see. We've got also plenty. Actually, if we had another. Okay, here we go, guys. Let me transition over.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
Okay, here
We'll
we
be
go.
using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter. Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide. The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy, which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time.
Let's go.
I think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really? So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Okay, here we go.
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharat upon our enemies!
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
Yep, another Fire Emblem character.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
Huh?
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself!
Okay.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do? Huh. So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time. How is this? Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
Okay.
With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power. Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the Sword of the Creator, each weapon matches a direction. Your will and mine be now as one! To you, both sides of time are revealed! Through Smash, show the world!
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from
And
Fire
there we
Emblem
go.
Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access
it's
if
a
you
Three
have the
Houses
Super Smash
episode.
Bros.
It's a
Ultimate
Three
Fighters
Houses
Pass, and it will also be
character.
available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry. First off, what is Fire Emblem? It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom
Anyway,
in
let's see
1990.
here.
You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you, but a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with
And again, guys, so
increasingly
you know,
distinct
I had
characters
no-
and engrossing scenarios.
I didn't even predict this character myself either, so.
Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge. I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、聖魔の功績、双縁の奇跡、暁の女神、新暗黒竜新紋章、覚醒イフヒーローズエコーズ風化雪月。
There you go, 17.
今変な数え方してます。
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
つまりこれが全部
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it?
Okay.
You can actually count up to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023. If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand. Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go. So, this is our new fighter, Byleth. Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem 3 Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this. It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition, you can do awful things like this. That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage.
Out, Jaeger. Go lay down. Sorry about this, guys.
Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here. Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them. By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward, or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit. Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect, which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this. It's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack. Also, you can turn around during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents. Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this can just get you hit by counter after counter.
Like I said, I'll give my overall thoughts on
Next,
this later.
we have the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Fail Not, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around. It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button. You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it, not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible. Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together. Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who've played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash? Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four. Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one. There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. And as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down. However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so. Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
結構横幅も広いんですよ。
It's similar to the Bridge of Elden stage.
ゲストはヒルシュ
The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence.
これはレスター
They belong to the Leicester
人
Alliance.
々ですね。諸行同盟ということはまあつまり連邦とか連合とかそういうような感じで。
Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
Huh.
The last area is the cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the cathedral are Sedith, Flame, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flame. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flame might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker! And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad. Bennigan's.
Okay.
I better keep my distance.
Oh,
I'll use
I
this
bet.
chance to
I
attack.
bet. I'll get to that after this.
Got
though.
it. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom. You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance. There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it. Now! What are you charging up for? There's still more. Whack! Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him! I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end. Now, about the additional music.
Jaeger, leave the
Since
cat
it's from the
food
Fire
alone.
Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters. Sothis is Legend class. Also, there's a new classic mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Huh.
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look. This time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well. After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii Fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the amiibo. The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it? Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th. And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Byleth. From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
Huh.
Looks like there will be one more fighter than last time. For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it. Furthermore, the new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them. But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have. It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2. It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world. Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales.
Huh.
However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely. Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC. Which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, let me go ahead and first of all say, if I had to grade this between extremely salty to moderately salty to slowly salty or a little bit okay and so on and so forth, I would definitely have to say that I would give this game a I am moderately salty. And yep, we are, Lar. Yep, we are. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that while I don't particularly like what we saw here today, I can kind of understand why he did it. Because the reason he did it, though, is because of Fire Emblem. Yeah, the Fire Emblem Fighters Pass is basically done here, and then Volume 2, like Lara's talking about, is coming out, so there's still a chance to predict what will be in Volume 2. So, let me transition back over to the broadcast booth. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say, if I had to take a guess, that there, even though a lot of people don't like the idea of this character, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will be playing with it anyway. Because I just remembered the backlash over one of the original Fighters Pass characters. I forgot which one though. It wasn't Banjo, because everybody wanted Banjo. Then there was also everybody wanted King K. Rool, so it wasn't them. And it definitely wasn't over Joker. But again, there was some saltiness with earlier Smash Brothers characters, though, I will say. So, let me transition back over to the okay, there we go. Now, what are y'all's thoughts on this? Because I've gave y'all mine. And also, I'm going to go ahead and bring the music back, so it's not as quiet. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a little background music in the back as we're talking. So, for me, if I had to also take a part of the information that we got here, I will say that I like the I do like the Mii costumes, the Mii Fire costumes. But yeah, if I did have to give this a rating of by numbers, I would definitely say I'd give this probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. Yeah. But it's still nothing. It's still nothing to write home about, as they say. Maybe they'll do better with the next set of fighters. Oh, and also, guys, after this, I'm going to take a break for a while, and I will be back on Twitch with more of Wind Waker HD. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that out of the Mii outfits that we saw here today, I liked the X one for Mega Man X. I liked the I also liked the Cuphead one. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be taking a break after this. I'm going to go until 10 a.m. here. Hi there, Final. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Final? But again, I'll be doing more of Wind Waker HD over on Twitch. And again, that'll be at noon. So, I'm going to see if y'all have any other final questions or comments before we wrap up this particular stream, before I get ready over on Twitch. The Battle Network one is, it's okay. And let's see here. I do like the music selection for the Cuphead Mii Fighter costume too. Well, thank you for stopping in, Laura. I'm giving y'all, see here. I'm giving y'all I'm going to give y'all 3 more minutes before I get ready to wrap up here, instead of going till 10 a.m. because there ain't much left to talk about. So, do y'all have any questions or comments? And I'm going to check and see if Final has any comments too. So again, Final, what are your thoughts? Oh, that's cool. The reason I'm doing the direct here on YouTube is because I always do my one-on-one talking stations over here on YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up here, unless y'all got any other questions or comments. Hi there, Jack. And also yeah, I'll see you later, Night. And also, guys, if y'all have any other questions or comments that I didn't address during this direct, y'all can put them in the comments below, as you can see here, and I'll do the finger thing again down in the comments below, and I will see you all for more of the one-on-one talking station probably next time, if Nintendo, or when Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct for other games besides Pokemon and Smash. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all back here. I'll see y'all back on YouTube, not today, but I will see y'all back on YouTube tomorrow for more of the SNES Online multiplayer mode. And if y'all want me to, I can add in NES Online as well. So thank y'all for tuning in. Let me see what Final's saying here. Oh yeah, that's definitely understandable, Final. Yes, please do. Exactly. Thank you, Lar. And that's if you're new, by the way. But I'm pretty sure that I know that Lar, Jack, Knight, and Final are all regulars here when they come. And they pretty much have already subscribed. But if there is anybody new, please feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to hit the subscribe button and do the and click on the bell and do the personal. That way you can know when I go live here on YouTube. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all on Twitch. Let me go ahead and get y'all that link real quick. I think I have one for exclamation Twitch, that way I don't have to type it in all the time. Let me see here. I know I've got exclamation Twitch, I think. I'm going to do exclamation Twitter. If I could get the Nightbot to work. And I know I've got for the website exclamation Zelda101 Zelda101. I might need to check my okay, there's Nightbot. Now I need to check for Twitter. Okay, never mind. There we go. Now Nightbot is starting to pop up. I forgot Facebook 1 and Facebook 2. Oh, hi there, Kevin. I'm just getting ready to end out this particular one-on-one talking station, so if you've got any other questions or comments, please feel free to mention them now before I get ready to end out. I'm being fair to make sure y'all don't have any other questions or comments. Well, yes, exactly. Exactly, Lar. And also, for those, if you feel like you want to make a Twitch, but yeah, that, like I said, that direct for Smash Bros. Ultimate today was definitely a 6 out of 10, basically. And I've already talked about the things that I liked about it, so let's go ahead and wrap up here. Thank y'all for tuning in, and let me transition over to the ending the ending credits here. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all back on Twitch at 12 noon. And yes, we will go on a raid if you want to join me for a YouTube raid. Okay, let me see here. Let me check my notifications. Let's see if there's anybody streaming live that isn't doing Smash Brothers. Let's see here. Okay, nope. Everybody's talking about Smash Brothers right now. Even Fellboat. So yep, right now everybody's just talking about Smash Bros. Ultimate's 5th DLC character. So, I may have to look for a new target. Let's see here. Let's look for Breath of the Wild streamers. Let's see if there's anybody actually streaming it today. Let's see here. Today, I'm gonna look in filters real quick. And I'm gonna look for live. Okay, we got somebody from a different country playing Breath of the Wild, but nobody here in America. So let's look for Link's Awakening next. Let's keep the same filters going. Well, I don't see anybody doing okay, like I said, I don't see anybody doing either Zelda game, so let's see if there's anybody doing Mario. Well, let's check Mario Maker 2. If there ends up being nobody, then I'll just go ahead and then I will probably not do a raid. We'll see. Let's see here, though. Okay, let's try Sonic Mania. And this is going to be the last one that I check. If there is nobody streaming this, then we will not go on a raid. And wait till next time. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, perfect. Right here. Somebody new. Somebody doing Sonic Mania. And let's see if they're at least somewhat understandable.
Pooping. I'm just pooping. Look at me, guys. I'm pooping. on the enemy.
Okay.
Alright, never mind. XD.
Hang on
What the
one
fu-
second.
You said a bad word!
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and raid this person. This is Azuzo, I don't know how you say that name. The Hedgehog. We're going to go from here and raid this person. Okay, thank y'all for tuning in, and let's go and do the raid.